Chapter 51 Provocation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Thousands of people at the scene were stunned by Zhong Mo's actions. Originally, they thought that a world-class war was about to break out. Many people had secretly taken out their mobile phones to take pictures of this sacred scene as a souvenir, but they didn't expect that Zhong Mo's simple words would make the storm disappear without a trace. This young man is too powerful, right? His eloquence is first class. Yes, every word he said touched Grandma Lu's heart. She was originally very angry, but she smiled instantly. This is the difference between young and young meat, which is even greater than the difference between people and dogs. The young man just now obviously can't speak, his mouth is like a rocket launcher. I am not happy to hear it, that everyone started to talk, and they had a better impression of Zhong Mo, a young man who is good at cooking and talking. Qin Ziyu listened to everyone's discussion, his face flushed, and he felt like he was stripped naked and surrounded by thousands of people. He wanted to find a hole to crawl into. Not only did he not feel any gratitude towards Zhong Mo, but he also felt a little more hatred. In his opinion, if Zhong Mo had not deliberately disturbed his mind, how could his cooking skills have been so bad? How could there be the trouble just now? So the leader of this matter was Zhong Mo. He just wanted to increase the coffee and heat by stepping on him. This despicable, insidious and cunning villain. I must find an opportunity to give him a hard time. However, after several consecutive blows, Qin Ziyu also knew that Zhong Mo had won the favor of countless people through various means. If he deliberately went against him, he would definitely be blamed and humiliated by everyone. Thinking of this, he pretended to be grateful and said to Zhong Mo, "Brother Zhong, thank you for helping me out just now. We are in the same company, this is what I should do." Zhong Mo didn't expect Qin Ziyu to be grateful to him, and was very surprised, but responded lightly, "No matter what, Qin Ziyu was promoted by Yang Mi at a high price. He couldn't be banned before he made a profit for the company, right?" This hurt not only Qin Ziyu, but also Yang Mi. Seeing that Zhong Mo was broad-minded, the others did not ignore Qin Ziyu's deliberate targeting of them just now, but helped him save some face, and they had a better impression of him. Everyone also knew that Zhong Mo wanted to help Qin Ziyu, so they picked up chopsticks and picked up the plate of stir-fried beans and meat to taste it. The taste was a so-so. Just as Grandma Lu said. It was a bit salty, the meat was cut too thick, and it was a bit dry, but naturally no one said such words. After all, offending others for a not very important game is a bit of a loss. The 8 people including Zhong Mo gave good comments, and then after the 12 people tasted it, 7 people gave good comments. It also indicated that Qin Ziyu barely passed the first level. Like Deng Chao, the 3 couples also passed the level smoothly and received good comments. After all, the crowds at the scene are just there to join in the fun. As long as the contestants don't cook too much, they will give a good review, unless you really cook some dark dishes. Live broadcast room. Oh my God, Brother Zhong is too tough, right? He made Mrs. Lu smile with just a few words. This is really a case of people dying when compared to people, and goods being thrown away when compared to goods. Why is there such a big gap when everyone is a member of Jili? If it weren't for Brother Zhong, Qin Ziyu would definitely be in trouble this time. Brother Zhong is worthy of being my brother. He is kind-hearted and capable. Even if he is his enemy, he is still willing to help. Hehe, it's right for our Ziyu to be a coward. Does he need to pretend to be a good person? That's right, I think Zhong Mo is just a man who is seeking fame and a villain who is not a good person. Isn't it just to win everyone's favor? Which mental hospital is not closed, and actually let these 2 things out? If it weren't for Brother Zhong, Qin Ziyu wouldn't even know how he died. If you have the guts, you can fight that old lady to the death. What a disgusting thing. Many netizens didn't expect Zhong Mo to help Qin Ziyu, and a fierce conflict was easily resolved by him. They all praised Zhong Mo. Even if some of Qin Ziyu's brainless fans said some sarcastic words, it would not affect the overall situation. Director's room. Song Min patted his forehead with his right hand, and there was still a dreamlike feeling. Is that all? I thought that old lady Lu would take the opportunity to extort hundreds of millions from Qin Ziyu, but who knew that she would actually leave happily in the end. It seems that Zhong Mo can not only handle wild boars, but also handle Chinese old ladies. He is so amazing. Director Song, I feel that Zhong Mo has a natural affinity. Everyone trusts him and likes him. Zhao Kuang tilted his head, thought about it, and gave such an answer. How many secrets does this Zhong Mo have? I really have to wait and see. Song Min stared at Zhong Mo on the phone with a pair of eyes, talking to herself. Sister Mimi, when did Zhong Mo become so eloquent? He made an old lady so happy. If he was so powerful before, would he have to be invisible for 2 years? Reba smacked her lips twice and exclaimed repeatedly. Reba, did you see it? This is the pattern. Zhong Mo is willing to put aside his grievances with Qin Ziyu in order to save Jili's face. This is definitely a malleable talent. I have decided that in the next 2 years, I will formulate a specific plan for Zhong Mo's development route, and I must make him a first-line celebrity. Yang Mi stood up suddenly, looking at Zhong Mo's eyes with a little more tenderness and sweetness, and said with confidence, seeing that Zhong Mo was finally free, Yi Zixin quickly called him aside and briefly told him about the wild boar. Zhong Mo shrugged his shoulders, called the second brother over, squatted down, patted his head gently, and nodded. Since you think it poses a great threat to the safety of Licheng, take it away. By the way, you won't euthanize it, right? I seem to remember that wild boars are also national protected animals, and it didn't hurt anyone just now. Wild boars are national protected animals, how can we euthanize them? Yi Zixin Xin said with a smile, we are going to release it back to Mount Li, after all, that is its world, but I am worried that it will not cooperate with us. I hope you can ask it to cooperate with us and not make trouble. Zhong Mo stood up and agreed, that's no problem. I was also worried that it would cause trouble and be burned by others. Zhong Mo, you just abused a national protected animal with bad means and serious circumstances. You also openly rode a wild boar on the street, seriously affecting traffic. Do you want to give us an explanation? At this moment, a man's cold voice suddenly came from behind Zhong Mo. Chapter 52, Fight to the End. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hearing this, Zhong Mo and Yi Zixin both frowned and turned their heads to look at the person. There were 3 people standing behind them, 2 men and 1 woman, all about 30 years old. They were wearing white shirts on their upper bodies, black suit pants on their lower bodies, and a pair of black leather shoes on their feet. They looked well-dressed and sanctimonious. Who are you? From the way the 3 of them spoke just now, Zhong Mo felt that the person coming was unkind, and his tone became rude. The man in the middle was tall and looked at Zhong Mo with a bit of arrogance and ridicule, as if the other person was a piece of freshly baked stinky cake. His voice was extremely cold. We are all members of the China Animal Protection Association. My name is Xiao Heng, he is Zhou Jin, and she is Qiao Anan. A member of the China Animal Protection Association? Zhong Mo thought for a while, but didn't think of it, and then asked Yi Zixin next to him, will there be such a boring association in our country? That he was a good-for-nothing in his past. Apart from singing and dancing, he didn't care about anything else. There was no such association on Earth, so it was very strange to him. This is a non-governmental organization. The theme is to call on everyone to love animals and not harm animals casually. It was just established last year. It is very popular on the internet and has millions of fans. You can often see videos of rescuing and helping small animals. Many people I donated a lot of money to them and are quite famous. Yi Zixin shrugged helplessly and gave a few brief introductions. Oh. I didn't expect that some people would be so boring now. Are you making money? Zhong Mo's eyes were wide-eyed and he looked at the visitor up and down, almost drooling. A shirt costs 7,000 to 8,000, a pair of pants costs nearly 10,000, and this pair of leather shoes costs at least 20,000 to 30,000. In other words, this outfit alone costs 30,000 to 40,000. In this small life, he will definitely crush 95% of the young talents in the entertainment industry. Hey, in the face of the cunning, despicable and shameless fraudsters, as the supreme entertainment man, how can the host sit idly by and ignore them? Choice 1, let him scold you, I will lie down naturally. As long as I lie flat, no attack can hurt me. I will be rewarded with the title of the best softie in the universe. Option 2, pretend to be crazy and act stupid, get through the test, and be rewarded with plus 50 physical strength and a dark treasure chest. Option 3, expose them, crush them at 360 degrees, reward plus 5 spirit, and a silver treasure chest. That the sound of system machinery sounded in Zhong Mo's mind again, scammer. When Zhong Mo heard this word, his eyes narrowed and he understood everything. What bullshit SPCA. They are just a bunch of liars. Pass all options 1 and 2. Definitely expose them. Let the whole country see their ugly faces. In order to prevent the host from being exposed on the internet and dying without a burial place, this system specially rewards the host with 25 seconds of time retrieval. That the system's voice sounded in Zhong Mo's mind again, and then everything the 3 people in front of him had done in the past 15 days rolled through his mind like a slideshow. What are you talking about? Zhong Mo, as a star, you don't set an example but blatantly abuse animals. Aren't you going to be condemned by your conscience? Aren't you going to have nightmares when you sleep at night? Aren't you afraid of death? Will you go to the 18th level of hell and enter the animal realm in the next life? We feel ashamed that there are scum like you in the human race. If it were me, I would have committed suicide long ago to apologize. That the woman named Xiao Anan was like a cat that had stepped on its tail. Her fur instantly exploded. She pointed at Zhong Mo's nose and started to curse. The faces of Zhong Mo and Yi Zixin instantly darkened. It can be said that the two of them are the same type of people. They have no objection to organizations like the Animal Protection Association and have some appreciation for it, because they often see news about cat abuse and dog abuse. They feel extremely sad and hope that an organization can take care of these people. Even if you don't like these little animals, please leave them alone. After all, they are alive too, but these people are all liars. They use the banner of moral kidnapping to target others and achieve ulterior motives. This is too much, but before Zhong Mo had time to speak, Qin Ziyu, who was not far away, had already ran over and couldn't wait to explain. You 3, I'm really sorry. Zhong Mo has been under too much psychological pressure these days, and he usually acts impulsively, and he thinks he is abusing animals. It's a small thing. I haven't considered the consequences of doing this. Please give him a chance to change his ways. On the surface, his words sounded like he was helping Zhong Mo out of trouble, but if you listen carefully, he was actually stabbing Zhong Mo. Too much psychological pressure. Are you more impulsive in doing things on weekdays? Think animal cruelty is a small matter. This does not mean that Zhong Mo is a twisted person who relies on his backing to do things regardless of the consequences, and even insinuates that this is not his first time abusing animals. With this high hat off, Zhong Mo will never want to stay in the entertainment industry in his life. When Deng Chao and others realized something was going on here, they came over one after another, but they didn't want to hear Qin Ziyu's words. Their expressions changed drastically, and they shouted loudly, Qin Ziyu, don't talk nonsense, Zhong Mo is not that kind of person. That they had a good impression of Zhong Mo and didn't want him to lose his stardom because of this incident. Did you see it? Zhong Mo really thought he just did a small thing. Qin Ziyu spread his hands and put on an expression of being quiet and not daring to go against Zhong Mo. But he was already happy. Zhong Mo, aren't you amazing? Didn't you humiliate me one after another just now? Let's see how you turn around this time. Not to mention Yang Mi, not even Yang Dingtian, Yang Gua, or Yang Guang can save you. Bang! But who knew that as soon as he finished speaking, Zhong Mo kicked him to the ground. Zhong Mo's face was gloomy, and an uncontrollable murderous aura had burst out of his body. Thinking of the images that kept popping up in his mind just now, he wanted to slap the 3 beasts in front of him to death. Don't you want to kidnap me morally? Don't you want to trick me? Let's see who dies first. He stepped on Qin Ziyu's chest, glanced at him coldly, and said with great disdain, I originally thought you were barely a human being, but who knew that beasts are more grateful than you? Zhong Mo, you dare to kick me? Are you crazy? Qin Ziyu looked at Zhong Mo's cold eyes, trembled with fear, and his voice became distorted. Brother Zhong didn't even look at him, but shouted to Su Kong and the other cameraman next to him, "Don't turn off the camera. Aren't these three things accusing me of animal cruelty? Then I, Zhong Mo, will do my best. Talk to them." Su Kong and others looked at each other in confusion, wondering whether they should do as Zhong Mo said, but once this matter is exposed, the impact on Zhong Mo will be too great. However, they hesitated for a moment and could only continue the live broadcast, because they didn't receive any other instructions from the crew. Xiao Heng and the others did not expect that after Zhong Mo was exposed, instead of showing any remorse, he would act arrogant and domineering. They were all shaking with anger, pointed at his nose, and shouted loudly, "Zhong Mo, you have gone too far. How can a cruel, bloody, animal-abusing, inhumane person like you be a star? This is not will you bring bad luck to children and society. I suggest that you be banned nationwide so that you have no shame in living in this world." Chapter 53 Things got out of hand. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Deng Chao and the others were completely dumbfounded. They didn't expect Zhong Mo to show such a furious and fierce look, which was completely different from what he had just done. They were anxious and helpless. What happened to Zhong Mo? Wasn't your attitude quite good when you faced old Lady Lu just now? Why can't you talk to these three people nicely? This is simply digging your own grave. Bai Lu was so anxious that she stamped her feet, grabbed Zhong Mo's arm, and whispered, "Zhong Mo, don't be impulsive. Their Animal Protection Association is widely distributed throughout the country and is very strong. You are not their opponent." As she said this, her eyes were already red, and a few tears rolled in her eyes. She really didn't want Zhong Mo to finally make a name for himself, but to be beaten back to his original form. You are not their opponent. It's just a broken thing, just close it early. Zhong Mo gently patted Bai Lu's smooth little hand, gave her a comforting look, and then taunted the three people. What organization do you three belong to? Black Dragon Society? Or Xiaodao Society? Zhong Mo, do you think you can get away with it by pretending to be crazy? You abuse animals, speak rudely to us, and openly abuse those who speak for you. You are simply a heinous crime and unforgivable. As a member of the Animal Protection Association, we will never stand idly by and make you accept legal sanctions. Xiao Heng raised his head and answered righteously. Animal Protection Association. Zhong Mo's mouth curled up slightly, and sneered, "This is just a tool for you to make money, right? What nonsense are you talking about? Each of us treats animals as our own family, and carefully cares for them and takes care of them every day. You are a bad person, so don't think others are as bad as you." Xiao Anan pointed at Zhong Mo's nose and cursed. Zhong Mo sneered a few times, then turned his head, put his mouth close to Yi Zixin's ear, and whispered a few words. Yi Zixin's face suddenly changed, her beautiful eyes widened, turned her head, stared at him, and whispered, "Zhong Mo, you are not kidding, right? How is this possible? Just try it and you will know. It's a great achievement." Zhong Mo chuckled softly. Yi Zixin felt her heart tremble suddenly, then nodded, turned around and walked to the side. Zhong Mo returned his gaze to the three people in front of him, revealing a warm smile. "I'm really sorry, I was in a bad mood just now and said something I shouldn't have said. I apologize to you and the Animal Protection Association now." As he said this, he bowed deeply to the other party. Wow, there was an uproar at the scene. Live broadcast room. What is going on? Why haven't I heard of the Animal Protection Association? Can anyone introduce it to me so I can learn more about it? The Animal Protection Association was established on April 11 last year, calling on everyone to protect animals and not abuse them casually. There are many articles posted by members, all about how to protect small animals. The earth belongs to humans and other animals, and there are many photos of small animals being abused. How should I put it? Very touching and sensational. I have to say that I felt that Brother Zhong abused the wild boar a little too much just now. He slapped it in the face and threw it to the ground. It hurt me just looking at it. not to mention the wild boar. This must be criticized. Thinking of the photos of burning kittens and puppies on the internet, and then looking at the pictures of Zhong Mo abusing wild boars, I actually felt a chill. Why are humans so cruel and bloody? It's hard for me not to think wildly. Will people like Zhong Mo commit crimes such as murder and arson in the future? Sure enough, the saints are killed first in troubled times. Just now, the wild boar was about to attack the mother and the baby. If it weren't for Brother Zhong, the mother and the baby would have been killed or injured by the wild boar. Why didn't you say anything at that time? Although I stand on Brother Zhong's side mentally and physically, he offended the Animal Protection Association this time. I'm afraid he will be in big trouble. It is said that this organization is very good at inciting people and arousing the kindness in everyone's hearts. Most of the fans just witnessed the thrilling scene, so reason still prevailed. They felt that Zhong Mo's methods were a bit rude, but it was excusable. However, some fans were bewitched by the three people and felt that Zhong Mo abused animals and should be punished. However, if the situation develops out of control, more and more fans will stand on the side of Xiaoheng and the other two, and the situation will become precarious. Director's room. Zhao Kuang was so anxious that he turned around in circles, waving his fists and shouting, "Director Song, why is this happening?" Zhong Mo performed well today and his popularity has skyrocketed. It won't be long before he becomes a top star, but what about him? Other stars want to make their personalities more perfect, love animals, and stay with them, but he openly opposes the people of the Animal Protection Association. Will this end well? Director Song, I'm worried that Zhong Mo will be banned soon. Song Min frowned slightly, holding the thermos cup tightly with both hands, and said expressionlessly, Zhong Mo's methods are a bit rough, but his starting point is good. If you don't use thundering methods, how can you subdue the ferocious wild boar? Which is more important, people or wild boars? But you can't say that. Zhao Kuang blushed and stammered. Zhong Mo is a good guy. He can help at a critical moment. Song Min's eyes flashed with a cold light, and she spoke word by word. Sister Mimi, are these people bored? Didn't they see the wild boar hurting people? Why do they have to accuse Zhong Mo of animal abuse? I think they just want to make trouble for the world. Sister Mimi, Zhong Mo is a good man, a very good man. You can't abandon him at a critical moment. Reba grabbed Yang Mi's little hand with both hands, putting on a pitiful look. Get out. He is my brother, how could I abandon him? Besides, if his brave behavior like this is reprimanded, then who will dare to be a good person in the future? Damn it, they even dare to touch my big Mimi, don't they want to live? Yang Mi shook off Reba's hands, sat in the boss chair, and said coldly, Animal Protection Association. Bullshit. On the scene. Everyone didn't expect that Zhong Mo's before and after would be so different, just like the face changing in Sichuan opera. Deng Chao quickly tried to smooth things over. Zhong Mo, as the saying goes, knowing one's mistakes is the best way to improve. Although you were trying to save people at that time, your methods were indeed a bit excessive. Hurry up and apologize. I believe that people will not be petty with you. Yes, who hasn't made mistakes? If you make a mistake, just turn it over and make a new start. Wu Jin also began to persuade. Zhang Yuqi and several others also persuaded, hoping that this matter could be reduced from a big matter to a small matter, but Xiao Anan put on a face of, God is the boss, I am the second, with arrogance in her eyes. You dared to scold me just now. I will unite the people of the whole country to destroy you. Ha! Celebrity. So what if he is a celebrity? Isn't he still at my mercy? Sorry, we don't accept his apology. Scum like him should be punished by the world. We'll post what he did online and see what people say. Chapter 54 Did I abuse him? You are listening at novelfull.audio. When several celebrities heard this, their expressions changed slightly. This matter is getting bigger and bigger, and it may not be that easy to resolve it easily. Who would have thought that Zhong Mo saw Yi Zixin had finished the phone call, turned around and walked back, with a bright smile on his face, "Thank you, Brother Wu, for speaking for me, but you seem to have made a mistake." "Made something wrong? What happened?" Wu Jin touched his head, his face full of confusion. Zhong Mo glanced at the three people slowly and said word by word, "I mean, I shouldn't have insulted the Animal Protection Association just now, so I apologize to them, but..." At this point, he suddenly paused and said loudly, "They slandered me, said that I abused animals, ruined my reputation, and caused great harm to my soul, so I also hope that they will show their respect to me in front of millions of viewers. I apologize and pay 500,000 yuan for mental damages." Wow, that when he said these words, the whole place became excited again. Slandering this young man for abusing animals? How is this allowed? You must apologize. But I just watched the video. This young man did take action, but it was a ferocious wild boar, so it's hard to say whether he abused it or not. But I think these people are full of food. Why do they care so much? The wild boars don't belong to them. I think this young man was very handsome riding a wild boar just now, and the food he cooked was delicious, so I'm on his side. Many viewers at the scene also talked about it, but most people had a good impression of Zhong Mo and expressed support. Only a small number of people supported the three people. The atmosphere at the scene seemed extremely intense. A few people even went to see the other 20 contestants. Or stir-fry. Song Hongming was also dumbfounded at this time. The purpose of organizing this couple's pass 5 levels and defeat 6 generals competition is to expand publicity and increase the popularity of Yida Plaza. Why did Zhong Mo steal the limelight of the competition? How can I play with this? It's not that I don't work hard, it's that the enemy is too powerful. MMPs. When Xiaoheng and the others saw that Zhong Mo did not repent and dared to continue to fight against them, a hint of murderous intent appeared on their faces. "Don't blame us for using countless keyboard warriors to block you." Xiaonan jumped out first, pointed at Zhong Mo's nose, and cursed loudly, "Zhong Mo, I think you are a coward without courage and courage. If you dare to do something, you can't do it. If I were you, I would just find a piece of tofu and kill you." "Yes. I checked your details and you are an employee of Jelly. I really don't know how Yangmi could have someone like you. It's just a smear on Jelly's face. Zhong Mo, as a star, you should lead by example, and you should not act recklessly just because of your special status. After all, stars have great influence and can easily bring bad social atmosphere and affect countless young people." Xiaoheng tried to persuade him hypocritically. "Zhong Mo, I know you have a bad temper and are easily impulsive. It was not your intention to abuse the wild boar just now. What Deng Chao said just now is that knowing your mistakes can greatly improve you. We just want you to be kind and be a good person. Don't know more animal cruelty." Zhou Jin tried to persuade him, bad temper. Easily impulsive. If Zhong Mo dared to admit it, they would dare to make a big fuss, saying that Zhong Mo had a split personality, or the existence of a second personality, etc. As a result, Zhong Mo will not be able to continue his normal life, let alone stay in the entertainment industry. Zhong Mo blinked twice and looked innocent. "Guys, I just want to ask you, you keep saying that I abuse animals, where is the evidence? Are you God? Whoever you say abuses animals, and whoever you say kills, kills. This is too much. Isn't that reasonable? Zhong Mo, you are despicable and shameless, don't you dare do what you do." Xiao Ainan's face turned red with anger, she clenched her teeth and shouted loudly, "You just slapped the wild boar on the sidewalk, hit the person on the ground several times, and finally rushed here on a wild boar. This isn't it animal cruelty?" After saying this, she glanced at the others sharply and asked loudly, "Please tell me, does this count as animal cruelty?" But everyone in Deng Chao lowered their heads in unison, neither admitting nor objecting. "Three of you, if this isn't animal cruelty, what is?" Qin Ziyu, who had just been kicked to the ground by Zhong Mo, didn't know where he got the strength to get up from the ground, waved his fists, and shouted loudly, "Doesn't it count as abuse unless he burns or hacks that wild boar to death? I as a member of Jieli, I feel extremely ashamed that there is such a person in our company. On behalf of Zhong Mo, I am willing to apologize to that wild boar. He had already broken up with Zhong Mo, so he was going to beat him to death with a stick and absolutely not give him any chance to stand up. He really bowed deeply to the wild boar, his face full of sorrow, as if Zhong Mo had done something heinous and bad. The corners of Zhong Mo's mouth turned up slightly, and he said mockingly, "Qin Ziyu, since you apologize to this wild boar on my behalf, how can one bow be enough? It's so insincere. I think you should kneel down and kowtow to it 100 times. Zhong Mo, you are going too far." Qin Ziyu almost spit out blood. "I was just acting, but you actually asked me to kneel and kowtow to the wild boar. Are you shameless?" He pointed at Zhong Mo's nose and shouted indignantly, "What's wrong with this cute wild boar? It just occasionally walked into human society and got lost. Why do you treat it like this? Don't you have any compassion?" That when Xiaoheng and the other two saw Qin Ziyu scolding Zhong Mo for them, they were also ecstatic and accused Zhong Mo. But Zhong Mo raised his hands and smiled. "You said I slapped the wild boar, and you said I swung it to the ground, and you said I rode the wild boar on the street. I admit all this, but is it abuse? Isn't this abuse?" Qin Ziyu shouted loudly, "Zhong Mo, don't quibble here." Zhong Mo didn't look at him, but looked at others and asked, "Everyone, I want to ask you a question. What is abuse?" "My personal understanding is that it is abuse to cause physical or mental harm to others or animals. Is that right?" "I think Zhong Mo is right." Deng Chao and others suddenly realized something and nodded hurriedly. "But have I caused physical and mental harm to this wild boar?" Zhong Mo turned his attention to Qin Ziyu, Xiaoheng and the other two, and asked with a sneer, "The wild boar has no objection, why are you pretending to be a big shot here? Or do you want to eat human blood steamed buns?" "Oh, no, pig blood steamed buns." Chapter 55, Pig. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After Zhong Mo said this, the whole place was in an uproar. Everyone turned their attention to Qin Ziyu and Xiaoheng, with a hint of doubt in their eyes. Yes. Less than half an hour after the incident happened, these three people rushed over and cursed Zhong Mo indiscriminately. What is their purpose? Do you sincerely care about animals, or do you want to take advantage of the situation? Xiaoanen's face turned green and red, and she argued loudly, You are talking nonsense. The purpose of our Animal Protection Association is to protect every animal from being bullied and abused. It is for. Zhong Mo raised his right hand to stop her from continuing, and sneered again and again, "Oh. Protect every animal from being bullied and abused? Then when you rushed to the scene, did you check the wild boar's wounds? Did you? Have you asked the people around you about what happened? Or in your eyes, you are the so-called righteous and you can accuse whomever you want?" We. When Xiaoheng and the others heard this, their expressions suddenly changed and they were speechless for a moment. Have the wild boars been abused or injured? What does it have to do with them? They just accidentally saw Zhong Mo's live video and discovered the process of Zhong Mo beating the wild boar. They felt ecstatic in their hearts and felt that this was a great opportunity to promote the Animal Protection Association. Millions of fans. How to cut enough leaks. Now we are taking advantage of the popularity of the variety show Celebrity Career Challenge to raise the reputation of the Animal Protection Association to a higher level. With tens of millions of fans, we only need to write a few articles and post a few photos every day, and there will be more and more people are donating. Isn't this life of drunkenness, villas, and luxury cars wonderful? As for Zhong Mo's life and death, what does it have to do with them? If he dies, it will benefit the members' families. Cool. It's a pity that they guessed the beginning correctly, but not the ending. Zhong Mo didn't care about his character at all, but instead fought with them to the end, and had a tendency to become more courageous as he fought, which made them secretly frightened and felt like they had found the wrong person this time. It's a pity that it's too late to regret now. Seeing that the three of them were speechless, Zhong Mo immediately waved to the wild boar and called it over. He patted the second senior brother on the head and said with a smile, "Second senior brother, tell these three justice envoys, did I mistreat you?" The second senior brother tilted his head and glanced at the three people with disdain. Then he shook his head like a rattle and curled his lips. He was very unhappy with these three two-legged beasts for being nosy. No matter how he looked at them, they looked like one. Era, wild boar, big brother is my idol. If you mistreat me, you value me and like me. This is exactly what I am. Big brother has tortured me thousands of times. I treat big brother like my first love. Big brother, ravage me as hard as you can. Zhong Mo looked sideways at the three people and asked, did you hear it? I didn't abuse it at all. But, we clearly saw you. Xiao Anan still shouted unconvinced. See me slapping it hard, watching me pick it up and throw it to the ground, watch me riding it on the street, right? This is a little fun game between me and it, isn't it okay? Just like you and your husband plays some little games with whips, candles, collars and handcuffs. Is that abuse? Don't think that others are as bad as you just because you are a bad person. Zhong Mo returned what he just said to her intact. You. Xiaonan didn't expect Zhong Mo to speak so straightforwardly, so she rolled her eyes in anger and almost fainted. Even if you like playing exciting games, you can't say it in front of so many people, right? Oh, you can't blame me. The main reason is that this wild boar is a bitch and likes to be bullied by others. If you don't believe it, you can give it a try. Zhong Mo sighed softly, raised his right hand, slapped the second senior brother's big ass twice, and kicked him twice. Pop! The voice was clear and loud, and it was obvious that a lot of effort was used, but instead of being angry, the second senior brother crawled into Zhong Mo's arms affectionately, like a coquettish baby. Here, doesn't this wild boar have too strong a taste? Chen he looked at this scene and couldn't help but exclaimed. Dang Chao also nodded repeatedly and said, I didn't expect that animals also have quirks. This time it was an eye-opener for me. Bai Lu was crying with joy at this time. While wiping her tears, she echoed, let me just say, how could Zhong Mo, such a good person, talk nonsense? You people just like to wrongly accuse him and frame him. Zhao Jingmai felt very uncomfortable looking at Bai Lu's expression of pear blossoms and rain. Obviously she is Zhong Mo's fiancé, why does she feel like a third party? My fiancé is so popular. Three of you, could you please investigate clearly before you speak in the future? Is it really good to indiscriminately and casually accuse others? This will seriously affect your integrity. No matter what, she had to help Zhong Mo stand up. Immediately afterwards, Zhang Yuqi, Baby, Zhou Mandi and Wu Jin also spoke for Zhong Mo. Their eyes looking at those three people and Qin Ziyu became increasingly unkind. These four people are obviously troublemakers, lest the world not be in chaos. Everyone else around him was also completely dumbfounded. Gorgeous reversal. Didn't it mean that after the founding of the People's Republic of China, animals could not become sperm? Isn't this wild boar too humane? Xiao Heng and the others did not expect that things would turn out like this, and their faces became ugly. They had used the same moves in the past and could be said to have won every battle without ever losing, so they didn't want to stumble this time. Qin Ziyu's face couldn't be any better. Xiao Heng and the other three could apologize casually and then slap someone on the butt, but what about him? He and Zhong Mo are both members of Jiuli, and Zhong Mo helped him out just now, but he backhanded Zhong Mo into trap. This is a typical ungrateful, despicable, and sinister villain. How will you continue to work in the entertainment industry after this? How do people view themselves? Thinking of this, he suddenly broke into a cold sweat, pointed at Zhong Mo and the wild boar, and stammered, there must be a ghost here. Maybe, he is threatening the wild boar, so that the wild boar has to listen to him. We have an obligation to help the wild boars get justice and bring peace to this world. In order to bring down Zhong Mo, he has begun to use any means or words. Yes, we have seen the video. You were so heavy-handed and almost beat the wild boar to death. How could it not be considered abuse? Wait, the wild boar is just a beast, an animal. It doesn't understand what we are talking about. So if it shakes its head, it doesn't mean you're not abusing it, or something else. Xiaonan suddenly thought of something and hurriedly walked up to the wild boar, bent down slightly, patted the wild boar's head gently, and said kindly, "Little piggy, don't be afraid, sister will help you." Plop, but before she could finish her words, the wild boar had already fallen to the ground, foaming at the mouth, and its limbs were twitching. Everyone was completely dumbfounded. Is this a porcelain pig? Chapter 56, Biological Brother. Friendly Brother. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The scene fell into deathly silence, except for the second senior brother lying there, making miserable screams. Xiaoanen's face turned pale and pale, as white as a piece of paper. She pointed at the wild boar with her right hand and stammered, You. He was famous as a trickster, but now he was tricked by a wild boar. What is this? Zhong Mo, on the other hand, stared wide-eyed and shouted with a look of horror, Miss, you are so strong that you injured a wild boar like this. Is this considered animal cruelty? Brother Su, and big brothers, don't just stand there, get the camera over quickly and let the whole country see her cruel and ugly face. Other crew members had just brought Zhong Mo's Wuling Zhiguang over, along with Su Kang's camera. Su Kang and Deng Lei were 100% convinced of Zhong Mo, thinking that Zhong Mo was forced by these three people just now and had no way out. The anger in their hearts burst out involuntarily. Even a good person like Brother Zhong dares to bully him. You should go to hell. Su Kang carried the camera and pointed it at the screaming wild boar. While taking a close-up shot, he introduced, Did you see it? This is an adult wild boar. It runs fast, is wild and has strong fighting power. Just now on the highway, everyone saw it running rampant and destroying several cars. But now, it was seriously injured by a slap from this woman. Did you hear its shrill howl? Are these members of the so-called Animal Protection Association? They keep saying that they prohibit others from abusing animals, but what do? They are so cruel to a ferocious wild boar. What will they do to those kittens and puppies? I think this wild boar was seriously injured, probably a concussion, and must be hospitalized for treatment. In order to cooperate with Su Kang's explanation, the second senior brother deliberately let out several painful howls, and his eyes were filled with tears of pain. He really vividly demonstrated the feeling of being insulted but unable to resist. Deng Lei pointed the camera at the woman and asked loudly with a heartbroken look on his face, Miss, why did you strike so harshly just now? Even if the wild boar did something wrong, isn't there any other way to punish it? Why do you have to use such crude and cruel methods? Doesn't your conscience hurt? Aren't you afraid of going to the 18th level of hell after death and being reborn as an animal in the next life? Do you know that if you are so strong, you are likely to damage its brain? Even if it survives by chance, how strong is a wild boar's ability to survive in the wild with a damaged brain? That what he said was more level and more powerful. Didn't you kidnap Brother Zhong morally just now? I return these words to you intact. Xiaoanen's eyes were so wide that they almost fell out. I have 10,000 mmp in my heart, okay? In all my life, I have seen old men and women touch porcelain, but this is the first time I have seen a wild boar touch porcelain. When she heard these familiar but slap-in-the-face words, her face turned extremely dark, and she hesitated. I didn't use much force just now. Why did it? She can responsibly say that she is a genuine woman. Although she is not the kind of girl who can't unscrew the bottle cap, but can open the cap of her boyfriend's Tianling, how can she be stronger than Zhong Mo? Why did Zhong Mo get hit and kicked a few times but nothing happened, but something happened to him? Zhong Mo's eyes widened, he pointed his right hand at her, and shouted with grief and anger, what did you say? You said you didn't use much strength at all. Then how much strength did you want to use? You slapped her, it was seriously injured, do you want to kill it on the spot? Woo. The second senior brother was in pain and fear. He hid directly in Zhong Mo's arms, whimpering pitifully. His body was still shaking, and he was obviously suffering from great panic and tension. I. Xiaoanen opened her mouth, wanting to curse, but she was afraid that others would beat her to death. Several other cameramen also focused their cameras on her and the wild boar. What is there to photograph about Deng Chao and the others? It's not as exciting as photographing wild boars. Oh, go ahead, this reversal almost missed my waist. The second senior brother is really interesting, but he doesn't admit Brother Zhong's abuse, let alone the Animal Protection Association. You can't do it even if Monkey King is here. Have you noticed? Second senior brother's acting skills are enough to kill countless young meat in an instant. This expression of being seriously injured, dying, and being a victim is too vivid and vivid. If I hadn't just seen it being tortured by Brother Zhong. This means that animals cannot become sperm after the founding of the People's Republic of China. This means that animals cannot become sperm after the founding of the People's Republic of China. This means that animals cannot become sperm after the founding of the People's Republic of China. Can someone explain it to me? I thought Brother Zhong was definitely going to overturn this time, but I didn't expect that the second senior brother really loves Brother Zhong. I'm almost jealous. I didn't expect that Brother Zhong's charm not only conquered humans, but also developed into the animal kingdom. I'm here to kneel down. Countless water friends in the live broadcast room once again sent out cheerful barrages, with all kinds of ridicule and envy. Just now, they were worried about Zhong Mo, but now they have disappeared without a trace. Only a few people who were flooded with the Holy Mother were dumbfounded at this time. I was speechless, and the number of viewers once again reached a small peak. Director's room. Song Min and Zhao Kuang looked at each other. After half a minute, Song Min said, "Damn it, let the labor and management worry for nothing. This Zhong Mo likes to create tense atmosphere. No, I have to pee. I was so scared that I had to pee urgently just now." Gudong. However, Zhao Kuang swallowed and stammered, "Director Song, are you sure this Zhong Mo is human?" "Sister Mimi, there is a legend where we live. A kind-hearted man with a full sense of justice will be given magical powers by God, and he will ascend to heaven and become a god after his death. I made a wish when I was a child, saying that when I grow up in the future, I want to marry a man who has extraordinary abilities and can communicate with the gods, and now I have finally found him." Reba's face turned red and she was very emotional. She waved her arms and shouted loudly, "Sister Mimi, you will wish me well, right?" "That's right." Yang Mi rolled her eyes crazily and said with contempt on her face, "Reba, you are pursuing my brother for the sake of fairness, so you can even make up such nonsense. Isn't it too shameless? Besides, Zhong Mo is my biological brother. You are pursuing my brother. Did he, with my consent? Brother? Not a distant brother, right?" Reba blinked her big watery eyes and asked cautiously. "If I say I am a loving brother, then I am a loving brother. Do you care about me?" Yang Mi glared at her fiercely, stood up, and walked outside, saying, "Reba, ask your assistant to book a ticket for me to Licheng, the sooner the better. I want to help Zhong Mo get the Song Heaven and Earth Dragon scale to raise his popularity to another level, not just to meet him. By the way, I'm going to see my beloved brother soon. What kind of clothes do you think I should wear? Do you want to buy a new set of clothes? Do you want to do your hair? My brother doesn't like women wearing heavy makeup, so I'll do it. No makeup is done. Reba." Chapter 57 Wild Boar Chase. You are listening at novelfull.audio. On site. Popularity value +2, popularity value +5, popularity value +3. Zhong Mo heard the familiar system prompt sound in his mind and almost danced with joy. "I didn't expect second senior brother to be so popular, awesome." However, he still pretended to be hurt and came to Yi Zixin, with red eyes and choked with sobs. "Officer Yi, you saw it just now, right? This woman named Xiaoan and blatantly abused the wild boar and inflicted physical and mental damage on it. The damage will be indelible. I suggest that she compensate the wild boar for 500,000 yuan for mental damage, 500,000 yuan for hospitalization expenses, and 500,000 yuan for lost work time, as well as bear corresponding legal liability." Yi Zixin was also shocked by Zhong Mo's shamelessness. if you move your upper and lower lips casually, it's 1.5 million. Do you want me to hang out with you? However, she knew that Zhong Mo did this to delay time, so she deliberately coughed twice and criticized Xiaonan very seriously. Ms. Xiaonan, as a member of the Animal Protection Association, is this how you abuse animals? Fortunately, it's a wild boar. If it were a kitten or puppy, wouldn't it be beaten to death by you? Miss Inspector, I was useless just now. Ahem, I really didn't mean it. Xiao Anan stamped her feet anxiously, almost bursting into tears. Animal cruelty is also a very serious crime in our country, and may even lead to a prison sentence. However, if you can get the understanding of the client, the victim animal, this crime will be much smaller, so I suggest that you both resolve it privately first. If you can't solve it, our police will come out again. This was Yi Zixin's first time dealing with an animal cruelty case. She was still a fat and strong wild boar with extremely strong fighting power. She felt like she would go crazy laughing if she continued talking. And, resolve it privately. Xiao Anan glanced at the pitiful wild boar and twitched the corners of her mouth slightly. It's not a human being, how can I negotiate with it? When I speak, does it understand? Although she was deeply unhappy, she still bit the bullet, put on a pitiful look, and said with a choked voice, "Little piggy, I'm sorry, my sister shouldn't have hit you so hard just now. Can you forgive little piggy?" The second senior brother snorted twice and turned his head without looking at her. "Just one sentence and you want me to let you go? I want to eat shit." This was the first time that Xiao Anan was so humble. She was still with a wild boar, but was ignored by the other party. She was filled with anger and wanted to turn around and leave, but if he does this, he will bear a lifetime of infamy. How can he accept donations from those people in the future? She could only take a deep breath and put on a pleasant expression. "Little piggy, how about my sister buying you 100 caddies of fruit to compensate you? Just let your sister go, she really didn't mean it." "Humph," that the second senior brother turned around and pointed his butt at her. 100 pounds of fruit? Do you think I'm begging for food? I. The muscles on Xiao Anan's face were a little distorted. She squeezed her two pink fists tightly, making a crisp sound of fracture. Finally, she gritted her teeth and asked unhappily, what are you going to do?" "What? It's nothing, just pay the second senior brother 1.5 million as compensation," Zhong Mo replied with an understatement. "What? 1.5 million? Are you crazy?" Xiao Anan just heard Zhong Mo say 1.5 million and thought he was joking, but who knew he was serious? Xiao Heng and Zhou Jin couldn't stand it anymore, and they accused Zhong Mo. "Zhong Mo, are you going too far? Even if Anan did something wrong just now, you can't add insult to injury, right? 1.5 million. Lose. You said it right. You just said we were eating pig blood steamed buns. Do you think we were eating pig blood steamed buns?" The faces of Bai Lu and Deng Chao and the other celebrities changed, and they were all ready to come forward to persuade them, who knew that Zhong Mo waved his hand and gave them a reassuring look. He smiled slightly at Xiao Heng and the others. "You three, I just conveyed the wishes of the second senior brother to you, and I didn't ask you to give me the money from the beginning to the end. How can I eat pig blood steamed buns? Don't you think about this money?" Xiao Anan asked with a look of disbelief. "Three of you, I have my own moral bottom line. I know what money should be taken and what money should not be taken." Zhong Mo raised his hands and showed a helpless look. "Since you have wronged me and said that I ate pig blood steamed buns, then I don't care about this matter. You and the second senior brother can talk slowly." After saying this, he pulled Bai Lu and stepped aside. The second senior brother immediately showed a fierce look in his eyes and glared at Xiao Heng and the others. His two hind hooves were slightly bent, ready to attack at any time. Accurate. So unhappy. If you are against Big Brother, you are against me. Don't you know that I was born as my eldest brother's pig and will die as my eldest brother's black pepper tomato pork set meal? That's right. What is 1.5 million? Can it be eaten? Is it enough for me, an old pig, to have 10 wives? What about giving birth to 100 babies? Xiao Heng, Zhou Jin and Xiao Anan immediately felt a chill spreading from the soles of their feet and couldn't help but shudder. They just saw this wild boar acting coquettishly and being abused by Zhong Mo dozens of times in the video. They thought it was just a pet pig with no courage and blood, and no threat at all. But this moment, they knew they were wrong. This wild boar is extremely wild and ferocious. As long as it targets you, it will definitely not end well. Xiao Heng and the others only felt that their legs were weakening for a while, their faces were pale, and heavy cold sweat continued to break out from their foreheads. Here, this second senior brother, if you have something to say, please say it, don't be impulsive, impulsiveness is the devil. Roar, that the second senior brother raised his head, roared wildly, and his whole body was like an arrow leaving the string. He rushed in front of them with a whoosh. And only heard a tear sound, and a large piece of Xiao Heng's pants was bitten off by it. Block, revealing the white thighs underneath. Ah, help, the wild boar is eating people. Xiao Heng and the others were so frightened that they could not talk nonsense. Turn around and run away, not to be outdone, the second senior brother let out an angry roar while chasing after them closely. Come on, little girl, don't get bitten on the butt by a wild boar. The man behind is faster. He can't even outrun the little girl. Is he too weak? Ouch, the wild boar bit your ass, run away. Countless people in the square thought of the aggressive and ugly behavior of these three people just now, and now they all gloated, cheered and applauded. Deng Chao and others walked up to Zhong Mo and said with worries on their faces, Zhong Mo, won't someone die? You were too impulsive just now. How can you ask for 1.5 million? Even if your idea is good, but if someone takes advantage of you, it will affect your reputation. As a star, it's easy to make money, but it's also easy to fall apart. This is why all celebrities continue to have convex characters. Zhong Mo couldn't help but laugh, nodded towards them and said, thank you for your concern, I have another purpose for doing this, that he lowered his voice and briefly explained the whole story. What? This, how is this possible? That the expressions of several of them changed greatly and they cried out. Chapter 58 Zhong Mo's counterattack begins. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Celebrities like Deng Chao have also seen the videos and articles published by the Animal Protection Association, and have been moved by those poor little animals. Everyone has even donated hundreds of thousands, or even millions, just in the hope that those little animals can eat and drink well, don't continue to wander, live a hungry or even miserable life, but now you are telling us that the Animal Protection Association is a bunch of liars. Isn't this just trampling our faces to the ground? If they hadn't seen Zhong Mo's power, they would have thought that he was trying to attract everyone's attention by grandstanding. Zhong Mo shrugged his shoulders and whispered, you will know soon whether I lied to you or not. Deng Chao and others looked at Zhong Mo's confident look and were already 70% convinced. Then they turned their heads and looked at Xiao Heng, Zhou Jin and Xiaonan, whose expressions were a little more angry and annoyed. Spicy next door. You actually trampled on our trust and kindness, Mother Sheepy. Xiao Heng, Zhou Jin and Xiaonan naturally didn't know that the bad luck was coming, and they were still trying to escape. From time to time, they turned their heads and looked at the wild boar following them slowly, and they were really complaining, they are pampered and spend their days drinking and drinking. They only need to post a few videos and a few articles to get a lot of money. How can they have time to exercise? Now they were being chased by the wild boar for more than 10 minutes at a stretch. Their faces were as red as pig liver, they were sweating profusely, their clothes were soaked through, and they clung to their bodies tightly. They felt indescribably uncomfortable. The most important thing was that they were gasping for air and felt as if their internal organs were exploding and about to collapse. Plop, the three of them finally ran to Zhong Mo, knelt on the ground in embarrassment, kowtowed and begged for mercy. Zhong Mo, we were wrong, we don't dare to do it anymore, isn't it just 1.5 million? With this money, we take it. However, they secretly added in their hearts that when this matter is over, we must hype this matter up like crazy. and we will accuse Zhong Mo of eating pig blood steamed buns and blackmail us to see how you can continue to be in the entertainment industry in the future. Offending us will definitely not end well. But who knew that Zhong Mo had a bright smile on his face? You three, I just made a little joke with you, how can I ask for your money? I just checked and there is nothing big in the head of the second senior brother. Damn it, I don't want you to compensate me. Xiao Heng and the others almost blurted out the word fuck. We refuse to pay just now, but you have to let the wild boars force us to pay. Now we are ready to pay, but you don't want the money. The three of us were chased by a wild boar for more than 10 minutes, right? Xiaonan hated Zhong Mo so much that her teeth itched, and she wanted to pounce on him and bite this bitch to death. If you don't take the money, how can we cheat you? Thinking of this, she could only bite the bullet and show a sincere smile. Zhong Mo, I was rude just now and accidentally hurt this little piggy. If I don't give it some compensation, how can I live in my heart? This time I paid 1.5 million. Oh. 1.5 million, that the corners of Zhong Mo's mouth curled up slightly, a playful light flashed in his eyes, and he said word by word, Ms. Chiao, I'm really a little strange. In addition to being a member of the Animal Protection Association, do you have any other jobs or identities? For example, talking about the rich second generation, or the boss of the company, otherwise, how could you easily come up with 1.5 million? Boom, that when he said these words, the whole place was in an uproar. Yes, this is 1.5 million, not 15,000. I won't be able to get it even if I work for the rest of my life. Isn't this little girl a rich second generation? She actually spent so much money in one go. Perhaps she is the boss of a company and is worth tens of millions or hundreds of millions. A mere 1.5 million is still nothing to her. This is really a case of comparing people to death and comparing goods. 1.5 million can buy a large flat in our city of Li. That the people around him quickly questioned Xiaoanen's identity and started talking about it. Xiaoanen's face instantly turned as white paper, and she stammered, I. How could she have thought that Zhong Mo would dig such a big hole for herself with just one word? Rich second generation. Company CEO. How is it possible? She is just an ordinary person, but after becoming a member of the Animal Protection Association, she handles too much money. If she deducts a little bit, she will make her mouth water. Xiao Heng's face darkened, and he hurriedly helped Xiaonan to smooth things over. Zhong Mo, you are right. Anan does run a small company, not large in scale, but its annual turnover is around several million, so it can still afford such a large sum of money. Money. Yeah, I run a small company. Xiaoanen's eyes lit up and she nodded in agreement. Oh. It turns out that Miss Chiao runs a company, no wonder. Zhong Mo nodded with a smile, but then changed his words and asked, but I'm still a little surprised. The three of you are members of the Animal Protection Association. It is your duty to protect every animal and refuse others to abuse animals. But, why do you three wear crocodile leather shoes? Isn't this harmful to the crocodile? Don't you feel guilty? Boom, his words were like a depth charge, once again causing a series of waves to explode among the three of them. What? This? Xiao Heng, Xiaoanen and Zhou Jin's faces suddenly changed. They looked down at the leather shoes they were wearing, and they wanted to hide them immediately. Zhong Mo turned his head and looked at Bai Lu and the others. He scratched his head deliberately and asked curiously, Lu, brother Deng, you are all old seniors in the entertainment industry, and you are knowledgeable. I am just a rookie and have not seen much. Can you help me see what brand the leather shoes they are wearing are, and whether they are real crocodile leather? I think I am wrong and wronged them. Deng Chao and the others had just noticed Xiao Heng and the others, and their anger was out of control. They all walked over, lowered their heads, and glanced at the shoes they were wearing. They all nodded and said, they are all wearing crocodile leather shoes from the world-famous brand Dai. The price of a pair is between 200,000 and 300,000, and they are 100% made of crocodile leather. There are no high imitations in China. What? Crocodile leather shoes? a pair of 300,000. So rich? Other ordinary people were completely shocked when they heard this. What do these three people do? Isn't this too rich? One is the company's CEO, but it's impossible for all three to be company CEOs. And they wear the same brand of shoes. At this moment, everyone has great doubts about their identities. Chapter 59, Hell on Earth. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Deng Chao glanced at everyone around him and said loudly, "Everyone, maybe you don't know, right? The shirts they are wearing are also international famous brands, costing about 7,000 to 8,000 apiece, and these pants are over 10,000, and the three of them, the clothes, pants, and shoes I wear are all of the same standard. It doesn't look like I bought them myself, but the work clothes issued by the company or uniformly." Zhang Yuqi had a livid face, glared at Deng Chao coldly, and shouted dissatisfied, "Why are you beating around the bush and talking nonsense? Just tell everyone directly that the clothes, pants, and shoes they wear are all from this bullshit animal protection. Isn't it just uniforms distributed by the association? I thought this association was a serious association, but I didn't want to ask everyone to donate money in the name of protecting animals. In the end, they squandered it all. Bah, it's disgusting." She was originally an ant in the entertainment industry. She said whatever came to her mind and was never afraid of offending people. Thinking that I had donated $500,000 to this association, I felt sick to my stomach. A mere $500,000 would not be taken seriously by her at all. If you really use the money for those little animals, let alone 500,000, even 5 million, I will strongly support it. But what about you? Is this how you betray all of our trust and love? Deng Chao shook his head helplessly at Zhang Yuqi's angry expression. He originally wanted to use some tricks to get Xiaoheng and the others to take the initiative to confess everything, but Zhang Yuqi didn't want them all to be ruined. No way. Who makes my aunt's fighting ability #1 in the entertainment industry? Chen He also glared at Xiaoheng and the others with an angry look, and said word by word, "What a uniform work clothes. Such a set costs more than 300,000 yuan. I don't think the whole country, not even the whole world, can be so luxurious. It's rare for companies to do that, right?" He didn't mention the word association at all and just said it was a company, because this Animal Protection Association is a profit-oriented company, but what they sell is everyone's sympathy. If Zhong Mo hadn't exposed at this time, I'm afraid there would have been more people who were kept in the dark and would have been willing to donate money to them. Baby also shook his head with disappointment. When I first saw this Animal Protection Association, I was still very happy that there are people and organizations in China starting to pay attention to those stray animals. In addition to donating money, I also wish every day they can have a home, have enough to eat and drink, and not be bullied by others. But you are really too much. Bai Lu was even more furious. If Zhong Mo hadn't been pulling him aside, she might have rushed over and punched the three of them. With your virtues, you are still here accusing Zhong Mo, saying that he abused animals, and that he went to the 18th level of hell after death and reincarnated into the animal realm. I think you beasts only went to the 18th level of hell after death. You will definitely be punished. That she never cared about the baggage of idols, just like Zhang Yuqi, she said whatever she wanted, not to mention that when these three people accused Zhong Mo just now, they actually said such vicious words, which almost drove her crazy. Zhao Jingmai didn't say anything, but his eyes were cold and he clenched his fists tightly, wanting to hit someone. Xiaoheng, Xiao Anan and Zhou Jin never expected that things would take a 360-degree turn in just over 20 minutes. The three of them turned pale in an instant, and their bodies were shaking uncontrollably. Plop, that they only felt their legs weaken, and they collapsed directly on the ground. They opened their mouths, but couldn't say a word for a long time. When the image of the three of them suddenly collapsed, they had turned into mice crossing the street, and everyone shouted to beat them. However, their collapse has just begun. Yi Zixin's cell phone suddenly rang. She took out her mobile phone and answered a call, then her face turned gloomy. Xiaoheng, Zhou Jin, Xiaoanan, didn't the three of you keep saying that you are members of the Animal Protection Association? Do you care for animals and prevent those animals from being abused by others? But what did you eat for lunch today? Boom, her words were like a bolt from the blue, and the faces of Xiaoheng and the others turned even paler. Yi Zixin glanced at everyone around her and said word by word, "We just received a report and sealed a secret restaurant that uses wild animals as its staple food, including some national second-level protected animals and third-level protected animals. According to our understanding, the three of them are regular visitors there. They just had lunch there today. They spent more than 150,000 yuan on a meal, including nationally protected animals." What? Members of the Animal Protection Association specialize in eating nationally protected animals. Isn't this too ironic? 150,000 for a meal. This is treating those donors like leeks, harvesting them one after another. Isn't this organization too dark to make money like crazy in the name of protecting animals? I now deeply doubt that 1% of the donations they received were used for animals, that the crowd around them became furious instantly. Is this the purpose of your Animal Protection Association? Is this the justice you often talk about? If it weren't for the police around them, everyone would have rushed over and beaten these three people to death. Deng Chao and others had just learned the whole story from Zhong Mo's mouth, but now that they heard the news, they were still filled with indignation, looking at Xiaoheng and the others with blazing anger in their eyes. If looks could kill, Xiaoheng and the others would have been cut into potato chips. The three of them were pale and trembling, looking at Zhong Mo with a little more fear and regret. How could this man be so powerful? He had clearly stood on the moral high ground, but he was quickly beaten into the abyss. I am afraid it will never be possible to turn things around in the future. But their bad luck is not over yet. Yi Zixin received another call, and his face became even colder. You don't know yet, right? The headquarters of their Animal Protection Association is in Qincheng, where they have captured many stray dogs, cats and other small animals. How do those videos of animal abuse come out? They abuse animals in various ways, and then make videos to win people's sympathy, so that more people will donate money to them. What happened to those dying animals tortured by them? Those that can be eaten were eaten by them, and those that cannot be eaten were buried in a random pit. The Qincheng police have just taken control of the place, and they have specially filmed a short video to let everyone see this hell on earth. If you have a bad heart or are a child under 18 years old, it is not recommended to watch it. After saying this, she clicked on a video on WeChat on her phone and pointed it at everyone. Chapter 60 Worse Than Beasts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This video is not very long, only less than 2 minutes. But the shock it brings to everyone is indescribable. The video starts in a very large and desolate place, which is about thousands of square meters, but there are weeds everywhere, garbage everywhere, and human and animal feces can be seen from time to time. A large group of green-headed flies are buzzing around. Even when they see countless policemen, they still have no intention of dispersing corpses. Corpses of animals. They were just casually abandoned in the weeds by people. Their skinny bodies were covered with blood and rotten garbage. Several kittens and puppies had obviously suffered inhumane abuse before. Some of them had broken front legs and some had broken hind legs. You can still vaguely see the white bones exposed outside, which makes people feel heartbroken. Then, the police found stray animals that were kept in captivity. They just used bricks and tiles to randomly surround a circle. Whether it was kittens, puppies, or other animals, they were thrown in, and occasionally a little food was thrown in, as long as they were not starving to death. But how can hundreds of animals live well in this space of less than 100 square meters? There is feces everywhere, and no one cleans it up. The stench is overwhelming, and these small animals are covered with feces and dirt, dirty, and helpless eyes look at the police in front of them, constantly making weak wails. There are dozens of small animal corpses lying on the ground, which have been bitten and incomplete. The video turns to the other side. This is obviously where these people live and rest, and the environment is relatively better. There is a big pot in the yard, in which a dog meat is stewed, and there are 2 golden retrievers that have just been slaughtered in a room next to it. At this time, a middle-aged policeman in his 30s appeared in front of the camera. His eyes were red, his fists were clenched tightly, and his face was sad and self-blaming. I really didn't expect that there is such a place in Qincheng, and these people are actually called the Animal Protection Association. Sorry, I used swear words, but I really don't know what language to use to describe what we saw. There are some worse pictures later. In order to prevent everyone from feeling uncomfortable, we will not record them. After saying this, the video ended. Live broadcast room. Fuck, what did I see? This is the Animal Protection Association. Why do I feel that all the members of this association are beasts? How could they do such a thing? I just saw those 3 people accusing Brother Zhong without any hesitation. I thought they were really thinking about the wild boar, but I didn't expect that they would do such a cruel thing in secret. Aren't they afraid of retribution? If the Liqing police and Qingqing police hadn't exposed them in time, who would have known that they were righteous on the surface, but in fact they were full of bad water? Bad people like them should be punished by law. I donated 2,000 yuan to their association last month. Bah, give me back my money. Sentence, jail, shoot, don't let any of them go. Countless netizens were shocked by this video. Whether they supported Zhong Mo or were full of saintly hearts, they were disgusted and angry with this Animal Protection Association. It's a pity that they were not at the scene. Otherwise, these things must know how powerful they are. Director's room. Zhao Kuang's eyes were red, he clenched his fists, gritted his teeth, and shouted, "Director Song, I finally know what a beast in human clothing is. If it weren't for Zhong Mo, I don't know how many of these animals would survive in the end. He has adopted 2 stray dogs and 2 stray cats at home, and has a deep affection for animals." Song Min held the water cup in both hands, sat upright on the chair, and nodded gently. "Zhong Mo is great, kind-hearted, full of justice, and always brings us unexpected results. We should support him. Director Song, bad guys like these should be punished by law." Zhao Kuang shouted fiercely. Song Min thought for a few seconds and nodded. "I can mobilize some friends in the entertainment industry to call for animal protection. For these bastards who harm animals and defraud everyone's money, they must be given the most severe punishment." On the scene. Are they still human? I think you are worse than animals. You still have the nerve to accuse others of abusing animals. What about you? You abuse animals, harm animals, and cheat people's sympathy and money. People like you should be punished by law. Let's go together and beat these bastards to death. Where is my 40-meter-long sword? Let me chop them to death." The angry people pushed aside the dozen criminal police officers in front of them and rushed towards Xiaoheng, Zhou Jin and Xiao Anan. "No, no, we won't dare to do it again, please let us go." Xiaoheng and the other 2 looked at the countless people waving their fists, and they were so scared that they wanted to struggle to stand up and escape from here, but there were so many people around them, where could they escape to? The 3 of them were quickly knocked to the ground, and countless fists and shoes were thrown at them, and their screams and cries for help were drowned out by the people scolding. After Deng Chao and his friends saw the video, they were also furious and wanted to beat up the 3 people in front of them. However, they didn't expect that the people around them reacted faster than them. They were so scared that they took several steps back to avoid being affected. Chen he couldn't help smacking his lips, and said with a gloating look, "Will the 3 of them not be beaten to death? Humph, they deserve it." Zhang Yuqi put her hands on her hips and replied angrily. She also wanted to squeeze in and kick the 3 people a few times, but unfortunately there were too many people around and she couldn't squeeze in at all. Wu Jin gave Zhong Mo a thumbs up and praised him repeatedly. "Zhong Mo, you did a good job this time. Evil people like them should be exposed and their ugly deeds should be made public." Deng Chao also patted Zhong Mo on the shoulder and said apologetically, "Zhong Mo, I misunderstood you just now. I thought you were impulsive and reckless, but I didn't expect you to dig out such a big fish. In this regard, I am not as good as you." Bai Lu, Zhang Yuqi, Zhao Jingmai, Baby and Zhou Mandi, the 5 girls, had a good impression of Zhong Mo, and now their eyes were shining, and they felt that his image was instantly great. Who doesn't like such a man? Zhong Mo quickly said modestly, "Brother Wu, Brother Deng, you are too flattering me. I just did what I should do." There is nothing to praise, that he knew that the higher you stand, the harder you fall. A moment of complacency will make you pay the price of your whole life. I don't have the capital to be rampant now. Zhong Mo, help me. At this moment, Song Hongming ran towards him with a sad face.